Hello, beautiful sacred souls. My name is Alison Batty Capps. Today I wanted to share a little bit about what I have overcome in my life and how my lived experience shapes my work. So there's something I want to share, not from a place of trauma dumping, but from a place of truth, integration, and hope. Because my lived experience is not separate from my work. It is the foundation of it. I didn't come to trauma healing, nervous system work, psychology, and spirituality because it was interesting. I came to it because my life depended on it. I grew up inside complex developmental trauma, emotional, relational, and boundary-based trauma that shaped my nervous system before I had language. Like many people who grow up in these environments, I learned how to scan, adapt, manage emotions, and survive rather than how to feel safe, seen, and supported. For much of my life, my nervous system lived in survival mode, hypervigilance, emotional overwhelm, chronic fear, dissociation, identity fragmentation, and eventually a complete nervous system collapse that expressed itself as severe mental illness. I experienced psychosis, psychiatric hospitalization, and deep spiritual crises. And I want to say this clearly. Mental illness is not a personal failure. It is a nervous system that has been pushed beyond its capacity to cope. What I experienced was not a weakness. It was a body and psyche that had endured too much for too long without enough safety, attunement, or support. Healing did not come quickly. It did not come easily. And it didn't come from one method, one teacher, or one belief system. It came through years of deep inner work, trauma therapy, nervous system regulation, somatic healing, parts work, shadow integration, neuroscience, psychology, energy work, and spiritual inquiry. I had to slowly build my relationship with my body, my mind, my emotions, my identity, my spirituality, and my sense of safety in the world. This wasn't just healing, it was reconstruction. And along the way, something profound happened. I didn't just recover, I integrated. I learned how trauma shaped my perception, how the nervous system drove my behavior, how shame and fear fragmented my identity, how spirituality can both heal and bypass, how healing happens not through force, but through safety, how regulation creates clarity, how compassion rewires the brain. I lived the science. I lived the psychology. I lived the spirituality. And because of that, I now hold a perspective that is not just theoretical. It is embodied. I understand trauma, not just intellectually, but somatically. I understand deregulation, not as pathology, but as nervous system intelligence. I understand spiritual awakening, not as escape, but as integration and embodiment. I understand healing not as fixing, but as remembering wholeness. My lived experience allows me to meet people where they are, not from superiority, but from recognition, because I have been in the depths and I have walked the path back. This is why I can sit with complexity, why I can hold paradox, why I can bridge neuroscience, psychology, trauma healing, and spirituality without bypassing or minimizing any of it. And this is why I believe so deeply in human capacity, not because life is easy or even supposed to be easy, but because the nervous system is adaptive, because the psyche is resilient, because consciousness is capable of profound transformation. If you are in pain, if you feel broken, if your mind or body feels unsafe, if your emotions overwhelm you, if your past still lives in your body, I want you to know nothing is wrong with you. Your nervous system learned what it needed to survive. And with safety, support, compassion, and understanding, it can learn something new. If healing was possible for me, it is possible for you. And that is why I do this work. Not to teach perfection, not to offer spiritual bypassing, but to walk beside you as you return home to yourself. Because healing is not about becoming someone new. It is remembering who you were before the world taught you to disappear. If this resonates, I hope you'll consider reading my book, The Divine Within, Healing Ourselves to Heal the World, which explores not only my spiritual and healing journey of how I overcame schizophrenia and complex PTSD, but how I use a wide variety of tools to help people return to themselves. And it does offer 36 experiential exercises that you can experiment with to get to know your own psyche, your own body, your own emotions, so that you can remember who you are on the inside. Or you can go to my website, blossomingheartwellness.com, and learn more about my online courses or how to work with me. I'm sending you so much love and appreciation for who you are. Whatever your journey has been, you are not alone.